Hi everyone, Lisa here from Forest City Stitching. I hope everyone had a good week. Today my son and I went to Clover Meet again. I mentioned that in previous videos. We do have a seasons pass, so it's easy for us to get to. It's fun for kids his age. He's able to get tired out quite easily, and now he's having a nap. So that's always good. He might be waking up soon, so I don't know how much time I have to finish up this video, so hopefully we can get through it before we hear him calling my name. This was the second week of school. It seems to have gone okay. We've had a couple notes come home about bad behavior, but hopefully that's just him adjusting. But he does seem to like it, so that's good. Hopefully next week will be better. Thank you everyone that have subscribed to my Flosstube channel. Greatly appreciate it. And the kind comments from the Crafty Peacock and Elizabeth Martinez, who's Fanta Stitches on Flosstube. They both left comments about fancy scissors, where they bought theirs in the past. I still haven't really picked up any, but you know, I may go to my local needle workshop, Stitch It Central, to pick up some eventually. That brings me into my haul for this week. It's all from Stitch It Central. I had ordered a pattern online, so I went and picked that up. It's Hooray, It's a Snow Day from Homespun Elegance. I had seen this on someone else's Flosstube channel. I can't remember who it was. I want to say she's a Canadian stitcher from Calgary, if I'm remembering correctly. I saw the pattern on her Flosstube and ordered it after that. I have like a wooden sled that I'm thinking that might go on once it's finished. So that's my thought with that. We'll see if that works out or not. Also, I picked up two pieces of 16 count Aida and some Gentle Arts and Weeks Dye Works and a Classic Color Works for a couple new starts that I'll talk about. So these are the colors that I picked up. Again, I don't have very much fancy floss in my collection, so anytime a pattern calls for fancy floss, I do need to go out and buy it. So slowly but surely getting that caught up. I picked up this 16 count Aida for the Frosty Forest series. So I'm going to start that. And then I picked up this 16 count Aida for the A Year in Celebrations by Hands On Design, as I want to start that series as well. So as far as my work in progresses go, I thought I worked on a lot more than I did, but I did start the 24 hours of cross stitch, the acrostic challenge for September. So I don't know if everyone's familiar with that. I hadn't been until I checked it out. Someone else's Flosstube video that I was watching had mentioned it, so I went and checked that out. And so if you go to 24 Hours of Cross Stitch on their Facebook page, you can join their group. And this is the acrostics challenge, so shorter days, and then you just pick a pattern or designer or a project to do for each. So that's what I picked, and that's what I've done so far this week. So I'll just read it over. So for S, I picked September, Year of Celebrations, Hands-On Design. So I'm going to start the September one of that. That's why I needed to get the fabric and the called for floss for them. So that I picked that up. And then Happy Camper, I picked for H. And so I worked on that, a bit this week, as everything falls out. So I did work on Happy Camper. So you're supposed to work on these projects for a period of your choice. So 24 minutes, 240 minutes, 480 minutes, or counting stitches, 120 stitches. 480 stitches or 1200 stitches. So typically I'm doing in like 24-minute blocks because that's the most reasonable. So I did work on the Happy Camper, and that's the Happy Camper stitch along with Fat Quarter Shop. So I'm still like really behind because now they're onto the words of the Happy Camper. I'm not going to be able to see very well because I have all my floss in there too. So we're on week 5, and so they've started the words, and I'm still working on the truck and started the camper a little bit. But oh well, it'll get done when it gets done. So that was that. For O, I picked the otters that I'm working on for the hashtag favorite animal B-Day Sal from the Crafty Peacock. So that's going to be my project for O. Our Raven's Reply from Luminous Fiber Arts, which I started last week. And then I'm going to have a new start, the Never Ending Cycle from the Laundry series of Hands-On Design. I'm going to start on that pattern, hopefully. I also worked on my Heaven and Earth design, Endurance, for the E portion. So I worked on that. I think I worked on it a couple times. So I got a little bit more done on that. Again, I'll be happy when some other colors come into play, that I'm not just doing sand. So I worked on that. And then for R, I'm going to start the rooster in the Barnyard Christmas Prairie Schooler chart. So that's going to be a new start as well. For D, I'm going to be working on Dark and Stormy bookmark that I started a couple weeks ago from the Just Cross Stitch magazine, Halloween edition. For A, I worked on a Peacock's Garden, so that's the Linen and Threads stitch along. So I did a little bit more of the paths at the bottom, I guess down there. And then also a little bit more of that square. So I did some of the green in that. I think, because September was released and this is the September square, I think, and it's kind of a flower pattern, I think I'm going to do it the purple and the green as well. And then the 2 squares at the bottom, which we had the patterns for as well, but I haven't got to keep it this color here, this variegated color. I think that's what I'm going to do for the threads for those. So I worked on that a bit. And then for Y, I couldn't come up, I had a hard time coming with a Y. Some suggestions I got from the 24-hour Facebook group was like something you've been working on for years, Yuletide, you know, kind of different plays on that, like something yellow. Yeah, so people were really creative when coming up with an idea. I wanted to try to keep the things that I chose within the pattern name, just because I like consistency that way. So I did find a pattern on dailycrossstitch.com. So I'll just show you part of it. So it's You Are My Sunshine. And got a pretty good start there. So I did at least 24 minutes, probably longer than 24 minutes, and got at least 120 stitches in. So got a good start on that, so that's cute. So that's that. And then for the last one, for the acrostic challenge, for the last S, would be the Snowy Foxes portion of the Frosty Forest from Country Cottage Needleworks. So that one there. So I'm going to start that. So that's why I had to pick up the fabric for that. So yeah, so I wanted to get the fabric, like a big chunk of fabric for both of those, for the Frosty Forest and the year celebrations. I don't know how quickly I'm going to complete the whole series in either of those, and I am going to do each of them separately. but I wanted to have the same fabric to be consistent for all the pieces all together. So that is that. I did also finish off a custom piece, a hand embroidery piece that I was doing for someone that that they requested from my Facebook page, which is the Crafty Maggie. I can't show that because it is a custom piece. Once she picks it up, which should be later today, it was actually for her granddaughter's birthday, which I believe is on the 25th. So when she picks it up and she gives me consent to share it on my social media, I will put it up there probably after the 25th. So anyone interested in seeing that, it'll be up on my Facebook page then. So I'm glad to have that kind of out of the way because it was a bigger project that I could only work on during certain times of the day when I had the best lighting. I really learned recently that I need to buy a knot light or something like that. So if anyone has any suggestions on a knot light, I'm thinking like a floor light for both my bedroom and maybe for the living room as well, I would welcome those suggestions, and then I can ask for them for Christmas. Couple Flosstubers that I want to mention. So last night I was watching the Maximum Cross Stitch Power Hour. I don't know if everyone has watched Ellen or not. It was her third video. She's hilarious. She's Canadian, and she is actually a member of the Crash Test Dummies band. And again, I didn't know that they weren't, but the guy was familiar with them from high school, but I don't know how popular they are in the States because they are Canadian, but yeah, she's hilarious. So my son, I was watching the Flosstube video on the TV, and my son had his iPad out, and so he was watching the video too. That's fine. And then like there was a couple of funny parts in the first part of the video, and then I look over and he had found the video through YouTube on his iPad and was watching it as well. So we were watching the same video at the same time on two different devices in the same room. But at the end of this particular video, she writes a song. I don't want to give too much away. You really should check it out. And it's hilarious. And my son was watching it on repeat and singing it for probably a good half an hour afterwards. So he just thought it was hilarious. So definitely check out Maximum Cross Stitch Power Hour, her third video that was just released, I think, this week. So yeah, Ellen's pretty funny. Also, when I was watching Just Keep Stitching earlier this week, they were gifted some quilted padded like roll up majigs. I don't know. So it's kind of like a large mat that was quilted that you could put your larger projects in and then roll it up for safekeeping. Those looked really cool, and would love to possibly get my hands on a couple of those. I'm just not sure where to get those. So if anyone knows where to get something similar to that Pam and stuff were gifted, I would be forever grateful to whoever gave me some information on that. So I think that's all I had. Hopefully one of these days I'll actually get some projects completed, because I really haven't done too much in regards to the fully finished area. But yeah, started lots. And yeah, hopefully this week will bring lots of stitching. Not much planned for the rest of the day today. Tomorrow I do have another long run to Port Stanley, so I'll probably do about 16 kilometers in the morning for that. And then I don't think we have anything planned for the rest of the day. But yeah, hopefully I'll get lots of stitching in the next week or so. So that's all for me. I hope everyone has a good week. Definitely feel free to leave me any comments, suggestions. You know, definitely share my Flosstube with others that might be interested, as I do welcome new subscribers and hope that you are enjoying my weekly podcast, or my weekly floss tubes. Thanks again, everyone, and have a great week. Bye.